Welcome to Motus. We are the leading manufacturer of high-performance headliners, door and console armrests, and instrument panel trim components for the global automotive market. We operate a state-of-the-art manufacturing platform with 5 facilities in North America, Europe, and Asia. When arriving for your shift, please park in the employee parking lot and enter using the employee entrance. Upon entering the building, use your key fob to enter the security door. Each team member must individually scan in. Face masks are mandatory and available at the window before taking your temperature. After your temperature check, use your team member badge to clock in for your shift. Likewise, at the end of your shift, use it to clock out for the day. If you are a temporary team member, you will clock in and out for your shift using the keypad just inside the employee entrance. If you do not know your clock number, ask your trainer or team lead.
Hearing protection and safety glasses are required throughout the plant, while additional PPE may be required in other specific areas. There are 2 kiosks in the building to obtain PPE, sleeves, gloves and other items you may need. Log in using your clock number and password. Withdraw the items you require, and be sure to log out once you are done. Earplugs are available throughout the plant. We have an on-site athletic trainer for your use. First aid materials are located in this office, as well as the operations supervisor's office in the rear of the facility. AED equipment and eye-wash stations are located near the front and rear of the building. Tornado shelters, restrooms, and emergency exits are clearly marked throughout the facility. Fire extinguishers are identified on the production floor, and evacuation areas are marked outside the building.
Communication boards are located in the molding area and assembly area to make you aware of what your assigned cell will be today, as well as overtime opportunities and other key information. Once at your assigned cell, review the correct SOP for the product you're producing, and follow the escalation process. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask your team leader. The team leader stations are at assembly cells 1 and 27, and mold cells 1 and 13. Human resources are located across from the front break room and in the front office.
While on the production floor, remember we share the road with forklifts. Please be sure to use the green pedestrian walkway whenever traveling in the production areas. Certain areas require a vest to enter. These areas are marked orange, and vests are available for your use.
At Motus, we provide quality products, service, and solutions to several Fortune 500 companies and Tier 1 suppliers. We provide product to Stellantis, formerly FCA, General Motors, Ford, Honda, Rivian's truck, and Amazon van, Autoneum, Aria, Mopar, Mako, Summit Polymers, Trevs, Vistec, and many others.
What goes into creating quality products at Motus? We'll explain using a small snippet from a fiber and molding training session presented by our Director of Manufacturing Operation of our Fiber Division, John Berghammer.
Right? What bike component fiber is, picture you have a thread in the middle. The circle around it is glue. Like it gets tacky, gets sticky, okay? Remember, these fibers are like a piece of hair. That's how thin this fiber is. But actually, the bike component fiber is actually 2 fibers, and it's still as thin as a hair, okay? The concept is, as we bring heat to that material, that glue on the outside gets tacky, and then the fibers will stick to each other. When I cool it back off, they stay stuck. Okay, so I'm going to activate the glue that's around it. Okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about baffling, the heat process. We're going to talk about a temperature profile, some new terms. We're going to talk about what open time is, the most critical item in all of the molding department, open time. We're going to talk about how fast that blank cools up. We're going to talk about what happens when it cools, okay? baffles. The ovens you're using, other than a couple of contact heat ovens, all the other ovens you're using are flow-through ovens. So I'm gonna try and force heat down through that fiber to heat the baffle up again, right? If the baffle is moved off to the side and there's a gap, where does that air pressure go? To the weakest spot, right? So you're thinking, okay, I got other baffles on there. What if a baffle is crooked on the bottom and it's a little, instead of the whole thing around to 3/4 of it looks really good, but the bottom right-hand corner, that baffle slid over 3 or 4 inches, right? Does that matter? What's it gonna cause? Think about what it causes, right? What happens to the air in that corner? That air hits your pad and goes to the weakest point, that opening, right? So I'm not heating that corner to the same level I heated the rest of them. So if I don't heat that corner to the same temperature, what's gonna happen after I mold it?
The cycle in that part might not get activated.
Right. Or it's gonna cool off quicker, right? So I didn't get it as hot. So it's gonna come drop in temperature quicker, right? So I'm gonna get a soft area. Here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring it up to a temperature from 0 up to a certain temperature. We wanna hold it there. It's time and temperature, right? As soon as you see the slide going down to the right, that's when the oven drawer opens. As soon as the oven drawer opens, that temperature starts to drop. Now I got a nice little buffer when you run a Maribond, right? I got 175 degrees to work with. But if I'm running Profile T, I don't.
There are 3 types of fiber we produce in Battle Creek. Profile T without adhesive and Profile T with adhesive, both produced at Fiber Line 31. Maribond fiber is produced at Fiber Line 32. And our carded fiber is produced at Fiber Line 33.
Safety is our first priority, and quality is job one. We strive to prevent non-conforming material from reaching our customers. Here are some quality defects to be aware of, and never pass on to our customers. The all-fall, or carcass, is the trim that surrounds the part to be shipped. A good indication a part is complete is if the all-fall is in one complete piece and not missing material. This results in shorts. Use the check fixture to be sure your parts are complete and visually check for missing or short carpet. Wrinkles. While small wrinkles are sometimes acceptable, in general, they are not. Ask your team lead if you have any questions. To prevent wrinkles, make sure you pull your blank tight in the mold tool and secure the material using the mold tool clamps. Delamination. Typically, this defect is found along the trim line of our parts, and no matter how small, is not acceptable. Contamination. The A-surface should be free of any contamination. Be sure to inspect your whip parts before assembling components, and be sure to inspect your blank before placing into the oven. Features. Inspect part to make sure all features are present and aligned properly on each part. Generally, this defect is prevented by making sure the water jet buck is clean and free of chads. Speaking of chads, chads are pieces of fiber that were cut out of the part. Please be sure to remove all chads from each part's hole, features, and off the water jet buck. Shine. Parts with a shine, or burn, on the A surface should not be passed on to our customers.
Motus embraces a strong cultural standard that not only improves the quality of our products, but our people as well. Job posting, announcements, and other key information are posted in the employee hallway. For your safety, cell phone usage is not allowed on the production floor at any time, and you must always wear your protective equipment properly. If you need to leave your cell for any reason, please notify your team leader before walking away from your cell. After your break time is over, please return promptly to your cell.
We have implemented a 5S program throughout our facility. As always, safety is our priority. Our first S is sort. Our second S is straighten. Our third S is shine. The fourth S is standardize. And the fifth S is sustain. The purpose of our 5S program is to keep the workplace clean, provide a nice work environment, increase productivity, save searching time for materials, reduce cost, improve quality, promote safety, create a sense of pride in the workplace, and 2, eliminate many of the 7 types of waste which we'll discuss later. For now, let's review 5S. Sort. There is nothing in the area that is not required for the current job. This includes personal items, more tools than needed, food, floor mats, or any clutter. Straighten. Materials and tools are within easy, ergonomic reach at each station. This is referred to as the strike zone. Shine. Overall cleanliness of floors and surfaces. This is achieved when floors are swept clean and free of debris, and surfaces are free of grease, dust, and oil. This includes desks, equipment, and tables. The area should always be tour-ready. Standardize. All documentation, tools, and equipment are presented in a neat and orderly fashion. This includes goal boards, standard work, tools, charts, and alerts. Sustain. We strive to continue 1 through 4 consistently. Audits are regularly conducted to inspect what is expected. Now, let's review the 7 waste.
Overproduction. The worst kind of waste because it causes other wastes and hides the need for improvement. This is the result of producing more, or faster than required. Transportation. Material movement that is not directly associated with a value-adding process. Processes should be as close together as possible, and material flow directly from process to process without significant delays in between. Inventory. Any stock and WIP in excess of the requirements necessary to produce goods or services just in time. This is unnecessary inventory that accumulates before or after a process is an indication that continuous flow is not being achieved. Motion. Any motion of team member in, or equipment that does not add value to the product or service. Correction. Any scrap and, or rework of a product or service would fall in line with correction. Overprocessing. This is when more is added or put into the product than is valued by the customer. And lastly, waiting. Waiting is any idle time produced when 2 interdependent processes are not completely synchronized. Team members are kept waiting, or simply work slowly while machine or process cycles.
A lot was covered in this orientation, but be patient. Your team leads, trainers, and the rest of the Motus team are here to make sure you win today. So, to recap, don't forget to submit your first piece for inspection. If you produce 3 pieces of scrap in a row, stop and call your team lead. Unsafe conditions? Stop and call your team lead. Keep Plex updated. Complete all your Pokyok checks. Record you scrap in Plex. Don't be afraid to ask questions. As a team, we can win today. Remember to always work safely. Welcome to the Motus team.